Oh, you love making me rant, don't you? It's okay, I enjoy it. Hello everyone, I am Mecha Random 42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube consumer advocate, Harpy. Pretty big Star Trek fan, or at least I used to be until, they were really just nasty anytime you complain about how bad modern day Star Trek is. And oh yes, viewer of Batwahmen, at least the first season, because I was told that I'm supposed to see myself on screen and it's all about representation and yada yada.
Aspiring to be represented by an ancillary character on my favorite TV show.
All the stupid superficial crap that nobody actually buys or believes, but the studios love to make them talking points. Because, let's face it, they use these talking points just to funnel you into marketing categories. They don't actually care about you. They don't care about these characters. They just want to feed themselves and feed you this line of BS like it actually is what they're really doing, which they're not. And oh, I got an article for you. It's a doozy, and I probably should have loaded it up. Now, full disclosure, I will give you guys some warning on this video that there are references to politics ball players. This is not a political video. This is not a partisan one way or another. This just mentions that they are in existence and that they don't belong in my television one way, shape, or form, in any way, shape, or form, no matter what, because let's face it, I go to entertainment to escape that stuff. I go to my entertainment, as do a lot of us, because we're tired of hearing it. And there's more to this than just this opening line. You see the thumbnail, and we're going to get into that in a minute, but Batwoman star wants some politics ball player to play a super... I don't care. That's just her being excited and saying, yes, this politics ball person should be on... I don't care. That's not the bulk of this. This is what we're getting into. Casting a real-world political figure as a comic book supervillain would certainly make for television history, but that's just par for the course in a show that's already making history. No, it's really not, though. It's really not. All of this history it has to make is just by stealing Batman's stuff, which Ruby Rose's Batwoman already stole. So, oh, please don't tell me that's where we're going with this. You're just stereotyping your ethnicities as people who are thieves? Is that what you're doing with this one, Batwamens? Because that's what it seems like to me. Not only is Leslie going to be television's first black Batwoman, like I said, are they interchangeable? Do we get a new Batwoman every single season? Next season, are we going to get a Batwoman who speaks Spanish? Next season after that, who knows? Who knows what ethnicity we're going to have to swap out? Because you can't just make characters of our own to be our own individual unique characters. I never said that I needed to see myself in the Batsuit for me to feel like I could be Batman. Well, first off, I really wasn't really too interested in being Batman, but for the characters that I did want to identify as, for the Jedi or for the Star Trek characters, for example, they're their own characters, each single unique character. When you have a superhero or something like this, first off, Batman should not be an interchangeable sort of character where you can just steal the suit and make your own character now. It's not like you regenerate in the TARDIS, all right? It's not one of those characters that you're really supposed to. And just because we've had different men play Bruce Wayne, they're still playing Bruce Wayne. You're not playing Bruce Wayne, and to think that you're actually a unique and individual sort of character. You're just the lady version of. And as a woman, I can only speak as a woman for this one. And I suppose I have to drop the LGBTQ whatever, who cares at this point. Because I can only speak as a woman from that experience, that I find it insulting to my intelligence that you think that I just want sloppy seconds for somebody else's suit, somebody else's technology, somebody else's story. Batman is somebody else's story. That's Bruce Wayne's struggle and strife for, and yes, he was a billionaire. Yes, he was. He was very wealthy, and he had the privilege to do so. And you can't help that. Nobody can help that. But he had the desire and the technology and the ability to design all these cool gadgets and the bat suit. What's Batwoman done? What's Ruby Rose done? She went to military school and got kicked out of it for being too lesbian-y. And which really isn't a thing anymore, by the way. And then she stole her cousin's suit. It's not her story. It's not her story. It's his story. And now what's Batwoman's, what's Ryan Wilder's story? She finds the suit and steals it from the person who stole it already. So this is double sloppy seconds. This is double hand-me-downs. Versus Black Batwoman. She's also the first actor to wear the cape and the cowl in any live-action iteration of the franchise. Because it wasn't written as an interchangeable, any person can just go and pick it up sort of character. And I'm not saying that I don't want characters of color, because we're going to get into this real quick with this. I'm saying that we deserve better as women, as diversities, as labels. We deserve better than somebody's stolen crap. We deserve our own stories. We don't want to settle for coming into somebody else's story and needing their hand-me-downs. Do you know how insulting and disgusting that is? Because let's face it, if you got somebody sweating up a big rubber suit, it's going to have their stank all over the inside, and who the crap wants to put that on?
Can't get the smell of the patriarchy out of the costume? New Battank body spray will eliminate those tough odors. Strong enough to punch the penguin into prison, yet soft enough for a non-binary person of color. Battank body spray, now available at Gotham Drugs.
The first actor of color to wear a cape and a cowl in any live-action iteration of the franchise. And that way she's as much of a trailblazer as Nichelle Nichols. No, she's not. No, she's not. First off, no. And second, no, she's fucking not. Who broke barriers as the only black woman on the bridge of the USS Enterprise in the original Star Trek. It's an honor. I grew up watching Batman. It was a huge part of my childhood. All right. First off. Oh, and she goes on to say, I never would have imagined a person of color wearing the suit, let alone me being the one who wears the suit. I just hope it opens the door for some diversity in this amazing franchise. That's great. We want more diversity. We want more. Why don't they start off the characters in this way where we see them go on these journeys and we actually grow with them instead of this, oh, and here's your superpowers because you found a fucking suit that you stole. And you're changing. That's the same problem I have with the first season of Batwoman. And just changing out the actress doesn't affect that either way. It's still the same problem. It is still an underlying problem with this character that you think sloppy seconds is good enough. And I'm going to address this Nichelle Nichols thing. Because, first off, that was her own character. She wasn't just sliding into somebody else's valor. She wasn't just sliding into the part because what? Oh, we feel sorry because you didn't earn this spot on the Enterprise, but here, be the comm officer anyway. No, she learned all those languages. She was a linguistics specialist. She was a communications specialist. And her job was no less important than the science officer, than the navigational officer, than tactical, than the captain. Her job was no less important on that bridge. And she was her own character, and it was written as its own character to begin with. And I was insulted already. For myself that they thought a Batwoman was supposed to be good enough that, oh yeah, this will represent you. Let's face it. I will never see myself represented on screen ever, unless I am actually physically, literally on screen. This is a big lie and misconception that they like to sell the gullible masses who don't understand that you take inspiration from any character you like and identify with in the little aspects of their soul, their spark, their personality. And if they happen to look like you, all the better. All the better. If you see something like, hey, they have a similar upbringing I did because we have similar heritages. That's even better. That's great. Why can't you write a character like that in the first place? Why can't they start off a superhero in these universes? Why do we have to keep reattaching ourselves to the same 5 superheroes throughout time and history and keep recycling the same ones? And I call them the Underoos superheroes. You got the big 5. You got Wonder Woman, as far as the wahmen go. You got Spider-Man representing the Marvel side. You got Batman. You got Superman. Who's the other one? Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. Big 4, I suppose. I can't even think of who the other one is. Probably the Incredible Hulk. Probably the Incredible Hulk, now that I think about it, as far as like the main Underoos superheroes. Those were the biggies. Those were the big main superheroes that I remember growing up with as a kid and seeing. And I think it's great to bring in more and more and incorporate more, but you really need to strive a little bit harder to make your characters, your diverse characters, iconic and make them as good as they can possibly be, instead of just stealing out other people's shit. This is the same crap that they do with Riri Williams, with Iron Man. You know, it's just somebody who finds the suit and steals it. Same shit with Star Trek Discovery. You have Michael Burnham just acquiring all of this knowledge by having a Vulcan soul placed inside of her. So she doesn't actually earn anything there. And look at Rey on Star Wars. What happens to her? She just happens to be in the right place at the right time, and everybody just gives her the Millennium Falcon, the Luke's lightsaber. She even gets his name. You didn't earn this. This isn't your story. It would be so much more interesting if these were individual stories of characters that we don't already have attachments to. But that is what is so sad. Story continues. I hope it opens the door for so much more diversity in this amazing franchise. And the writers are definitely leaning into the specific identity of the new Batwoman. But you're still just stealing the suit and all the technology from Bruce Wayne. After Rose's Kate Kane disappears, Leslie's Ryan Wilder comes into possession of the Batsuit and all the baggage that comes with it, including a tenuous relationship with the Crows, Gotham's elite law enforcement agency. The premise of a black vigilante fighting an oppressive police force carries a new dramatic weight. Yeah, but here's the difference, though. It's just stereotyping her as a thief. Do you not see what you're doing here? Do you not understand that that's what they don't? Oh, they don't. They don't understand it. Obviously. Anytime you're looking at that sort of situation, there has to be a moment where the citizens check them and blah, blah, blah. All right, so that's getting a little bit too more politics bally, which we're not even going to comment on. Just as Nichols' presence in Star Trek inspired multiple generations of young women, including Whoopi Goldberg, Leslie is aware that a new generation... And I'm going to stop you right there again. Whoopi Goldberg was her own character. She wasn't just a rehash of Uhura. She was an Elorian. She was a race that lived hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. She was a listener. She listened. She had a lot of wisdom. She had some magic-y, spooky powers that you couldn't really slap a label on, but she had a mystery behind her that made her character so interesting. Her friendship with Jean-Luc Picard that had gone on for centuries, throughout time. That's her unique own character. If you just said, oh yeah, we're going to have you as the comm officer and you're basically the new Uhura, that would have been an insult as well. Leslie's aware a new generation will view Batwoman as a touchstone. I want them to see themselves, she says. I think it's very important to finally be able to look on screen and seeing somebody wearing something so iconic like the Batsuit. Seeing your hair texture, your skin color, your body type. I wish that was there when I was younger. I could have seen more women of color playing superhero roles. I knew the difference between some people have some characters and some people have other characters. Some people are going to do one job. Some people are going to do another job. Not everybody is qualified and capable and let's frankly not lucky enough to be every single thing. You can be whatever you work hard enough to be within a few parameters. Are you lucky enough? Are you connected enough? Are you in the right place at the right time? Did you work hard enough? I mean, you can still work your butt off and still have nothing to show for it. Because that's how life is. Life is not fair. We've never been promised it would be because there's no way to possibly make it fair for everyone. Oh, for the record, Leslie does have one favorite female-led superhero movie from her younger years, Halle Berry's much-maligned Catwoman. I watched it when I was a teenager and I loved it, she raves. I thought she was sexy, she was hot, she was beating behinds. I felt like she did an amazing job. Oh yeah, hey, Catwoman. Guess what Catwoman was in the 1960s? Well, she was played by Eartha Kitt in the 1960s, so... Always one of those characters that was so iconic as well. And I think this might be where your sort of normie audience, yeah, fine, me, somebody like me would come in and say, okay, well, what's the difference? They swap out Catwomen. Well, there's different Catwomen, obviously. But with Bruce Wayne, I mean, it's still Bruce Wayne. And just because the character of Kate Kane squeezed into the Batsuit, it doesn't make it any better when Ryan Wilder steals Kate Kane's stolen Batsuit from Bruce Wayne. Even as Abrams and many others are rooting for the new Batwoman to have a long and successful crime-fighting career. Those are online trolls who refer to her, who prefer to see her fail. No, we don't want to see her fail. We don't want it. We're not online trolls either, so take that out of your mouth. We're actually correcting the SJW types. You know, the types who think that they're morally superior when they don't have the intellect to actually back up anything that they say. They just go and wah and they cry. Those people, we're actually trying to get some real life progressive things and elements into these things, and they don't do that. The same crowd that previously targeted movies like Ghostbusters 2016 for taping... No. I never felt that I couldn't be a Ghostbuster because there wasn't a female one. And you gave us unfunny women with undefined roles. They were all the comic relief and they were all awkward at the same time. They did nothing original. They would slap the original one in the face every 5 fucking minutes. And then they would try and reference it like, hey, but we really love it because we need this one because we remember this thing in Ghostbusters. And that was the problem. You don't shit in our cereal and expect us to eat it. And that's what they do with these things. I think that's something they have to work on within themselves. There's too much negative energy towards something they haven't even allowed to exist yet. Hey, if you're comfortable settling for sloppy seconds, I'm not going to overstep my boundaries. I'm not going to tell you can't. But I'm going to say that, maybe Hollywood should do a little bit better. Maybe Hollywood should actually give you a character that didn't steal something from somebody else. Because if you don't have a problem with being painted as a thief or portraying a thief, then who am I to try and say anything different? Because I've been saying the same thing with Kate Kane. I have gone on long enough about this topic. Yeah, just do better. Do better and actually give some real diverse characters instead of just having them steal stuff from other characters. I am Mecha Random 42, and I will see you guys on the next video, live stream, or wherever. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!
For the best cat litter when kitty poops, go out and get duty scoops.